So this video is only for people who have a dad. Oh, do you know anybody who doesn't have a dad? You may not like him. You may not have known him. But you had a dad. Fact. Had to be. And what happened with dad? You know, I just, as I go deeper into this subject, as I talk to more and more people, everybody says, my God, there's such a need for more understanding around dad, more light to be shone on the subject, more compassion around dad, more love around dad. You know, I talk to men all the time and they're like, yeah, I got this. But no, they don't. They don't. They haven't taken any training. They don't know how to be a dad. It's one of those things we're just supposed to know, right? And tons of dads in recovery didn't have a great relationship with their own dad. As a matter of fact, some of them had just shit relationships with their own dad. And it stayed that way. So now they're in their 40s themselves or 30s and they have kids and they're still carrying shit about their own dad, you know, and they're wondering why it's not working with their kids. Well, I'm going to suggest that we all have to heal the relationship with dad, period, full stop, you know, and let's bring dad to the forefront. I mean, we talk a lot about mums, and I love mums. My mum, you know, I could talk all day about my mum, and the truth was that my mum didn't like my dad, and she didn't like her dad, and I grew up actually under the shadow of that. My mom and dad were not together from the time I was about 13, and I know tons of men who grew up, you know, when their mums were angry at their dads, and it kind of, we internalized a lot of that, and it's affected our relationship with our kids. So if you're a mom, how's the relationship with your dad? You know, let's talk about this. Oh, that's another issue, isn't it? Maybe I shouldn't be going there. But so with dads, just to give you a bit of my vision with working with dads, we've started a small community. It's a private Facebook group for dads in recovery so that we can have support for each other, so we can talk to each other. I'm not talking about legal stuff or those kind of things, but how to be a great dad. Most of us don't have a benchmark. We don't know, you know, if we're doing okay. And we're kind of flying blind. Many of us are flying blind, and we haven't read any books on fathering. We haven't taken any courses on fathering. And so I'm here to support dads and being great dads. And it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're a dad and you're in recovery and you would like to improve the relationship with your kids, let's talk. You know, I've decided I'm just going to do this. We don't, you know, it's not, you don't have to take a course with me. I mean, that may come, but let's just talk. And you know, and I'm open too if you're, you know, you have a dad and you happen to be a woman and you know, you're still mad, you still want to work things out, you want to talk about that, I'm open to talking about that too. I mean, I'm a dad who has a daughter, right? I'm a dad who had a mom, you know, who didn't like my dad and really was very, very angry, and that affected my relationship, no question. The truth is, my grandmother didn't much like my dad either. I mean, my dad was difficult, but my relationship with my father got, you know, after I was in recovery, maybe 10 or 15 years, I was able to just let go of trying to change him or trying to fix him or trying to wish he was different, and just love him the way he was. And you know, in the last, say, 15 years of his life, we had an amazing relationship, you know, that it was healed and beautiful. And I want to help men have those relationships with their dads and be available for those relationships with their kids, no matter how old they are. So that's the deal. You know, it starts there. I believe it starts there. And you know, we want to bring love into the family, and it doesn't matter if the family isn't together the way that we thought it was going to be. We can still bring our love into it. It doesn't even matter if we don't have access to our kids in this stage. I mean, we can bring love to that relationship, and I'll talk to you about that. We'll talk about that. So that's it. Really short one today. I'm off to see my daughter tomorrow. She's in lives in BC. I'm flying over there for. She's taking her 5-year cake, and that's exciting. You know, so many men really want to break the chain of addiction and alcoholism in their family. That's a desperate want for many men. They're like terrified that you know that their kids are gonna have to go through what they went through. And let's talk about that. That's a big topic. So I'm excited to be going and giving my daughter her medallion. Yeah, it's exciting. So that's it. Love you guys, and we'll talk soon. Maybe I'll do one of these when I'm out there. And I'm excited. You know, I mean, having long-term, loving relationships with our kids. You know, into our adulthood. I have grandkids that I love and spend time with. And it's what a gift. So, you know, if this is going, you know, if you're perfectly, you know, content and happy with the relationship that you're having as a dad with your kids and your dad and all of that, that's fine. Then let's talk then, because I need you in this community. All right? We're going to support each other in being great dads in recovery. Okay. Cheers. Love you lots. Thank you.